Hello, Jordan here from Tools for Sparks. Welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a really interesting comparison to do because you might have seen out on social media people sharing pictures of this. This is basically the cheap and cheerful ferrule crimping tool that you can get, probably the cheapest one out there. And I'm comparing that today with this Knipex one, which is £120, I believe, whereas this one's about £20. So they look very similar, but the question is, are they really similar, or are there some major differences? And that's what I want to look into today, because as I say, this costs 20 quid on Amazon, this costs 120 quid. So you might wonder, are they built in the same factory? Are they basically the same? As many people claim with products that are made in China, they say, oh, you know, you can buy it the same thing for much cheaper, just with a different brand name on. Well, I'm not so sure, so that's what I want to find out today. So I've got myself both of these, and let's have a look at this Preciva one first. So as I say, about 20 quid on Amazon, including actually a little case which has some crimps in. So it comes with this case, which is quite a nice little case actually, to be fair, and it's got an assortment of crimps in there, various different sizes. So that's quite a good little set to have, and it has pretty much all the sizes that you might need on a day-to-day basis as an electrician. Quality-wise, how does it feel? It feels okay. The plastic is fairly solid. The mechanism on it is a little bit stiff, but it works. And just looking at it, it looks okay. I wouldn't say it's the best quality, but it's not bad really for the price. So that's a brief overview of the Preciva. Now this is the Knipex one. And quality-wise, I have to say that it does stand out as feeling a lot better quality. The plastic is just a bit smoother, the edges are smoother, the colour is slightly different, although it's red and blue still. It's a darker red, and the whole thing just has a little bit of a higher quality feel to it. When you close it with your hand, it clicks very gently and it's very smooth. It's not stiff at all. So it's not clunky, it's not stiff, it's just very, very smooth. And as opposed to this one, which has got this little knobble for adjusting it, this has got a much better adjustment system on it, where you just pull this out, you twist it around, and that's just to change from between 16mm or 10mm and below for your various wires. So if you're doing 16mm wires, you just need to turn it around and open that up. The spring in it, if you look, the spring in this one is slightly finer. That one's a little bit more thick and chunky. The actual piece that does the crimping itself, this is a little bit smoother. That one's a little bit sharper, I would say. This part is a bit more matte, whereas this is a little bit more glossy. And if you turn it on its side here, you can see a difference. This one's got a piece of plastic in here just protecting it, and this one hasn't. Overall, I would say the actual design is almost identical. It's just that this one does everything in a little bit more of a refined way, whereas this one is, you can tell, a bit more cheap and cheerful, and it's just come off, you know, the factory line. But at the end of the day, they both do exactly the same job. So what I want to test now is, how do they do that job? Does one do the job better than the other, or are they pretty much identical in the way they crimp things and the feel that you get while you're crimping it? That's what I'm going to give a little test to now. So I've got here a bit of 6mm twin and earth, which is stranded. So we're going to try some 6mm with both of the tools. And then I've got here a bit of 0.75 flex, which we're going to try as well. So our first, just gonna strip back this 6mm twin and earth. And what I'll do is I'll use both ends, and then I can do a comparison between the two tools, and I'll do it twice with each tool, just to give each one a fair chance. There we go. So we'll get the ferrules here for 6mm, which according to this they are the yellow ones. So we're going to use the yellow ones on here. Yep, they fit quite well. Going to strip that back a little bit more because we need a little bit more length on there. Same on this end. Okay, so put the ferrule on, and let's try with the, I'll put them on both ends actually, like that. Let's try with the Knipex crimper first. And I need to remember to set this to 10mm or less first. So let's give it a go. Okay, so that works quite well. Yeah, stays on very well. No issues there. Let's try with this one now. Okay, so it's a lot stiffer, actually, a lot stiffer, which I'm quite surprised by. I don't know if I need to loosen that up or anything. I don't think so, but that was a lot harder work to do it with this one. I actually almost couldn't do it with one hand. So yeah, interesting. Let me give it another go now with the blue conductors, and just see if there's any difference there. So again with the Knipex, it's pretty easy with that. And then if I do it with this one, let's see what we've got here. Oh, it's really stiff actually. It's just like the whole thing, it doesn't want to close properly. So it is difficult, which I'm surprised by, to be honest. I didn't expect there to be that much of a dramatic difference between the two. Now in terms of the finish, there's pretty much no difference, I would say, between the actual finish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's interesting actually. There is a slight difference. So here, this one, let me just try that again, just to be sure. Yeah, so it looks like it puts 5 nicks in it, and this one only puts 4. I'm going to just try it on an empty crimp here, just to know whether that is right or not. Of course it's... Okay, so you got 4 dents on this one, and the other one does 5 dents. So it's just a slight difference. Yeah, okay. But in terms of the quality of the crimp, it's not, you know, there's no difference really in the quality of the finish, like I say. That one gives 5, so that is the Preciva one, and then this side is the 4, which is the Knipex one, and they've both done just as good a job of actually attaching the thing on, but it's just that the Preciva was a lot stiffer. So for large conductors, definitely the Knipex wins. Let me try now with this flex and see how we do with that. So I'm just going to use my Knipex Ergo Strip tool to strip that back, and then we'll strip these back here with this. So it's 0.75, so we're going to use the little grey ones. Okay, now I think it must be 1 mil actually. Have we got any markings on this? Okay, I'm going to go with 1 mil because it does feel like it's slightly thicker than 0.75. Yeah, that fits quite well. So let me just put another one on here. I'm going to have to shorten that slightly. There we go. Right. So first of all, with the Knipex, dead easy. Then with the Preciva. Yeah, that was dead easy as well. So the only thing I would say is this is a bit noisier than this one. So the Preciva is a bit noisier than the Knipex one. But in terms of the actual finished product, no difference, and they were both really easy and quick to do. So yeah, no complaints there really. So I would say then that in terms of who wins, Knipex definitely wins, because overall it's just easier to use and it's not as noisy. But Knipex wins particularly on larger conductors, because this is 6mm, but imagine if you're doing 10mm or 16mm, then you're going to have a really tough time. And actually what I've noticed on here is it says that it's only, the Preciva one is only designed for up to 10mm squared conductors, whereas the Knipex one can do up to 16mm squared, so it wins on that level as well. This one will do from 0.08 to 16mm squared, whereas the Preciva one will only do from 0.25 to 10mm squared. So the range on this is slightly less than the range on this. However, for your day-to-day crimping, if you're only usually doing 1.5, 2.5 conductors, then probably this is overkill, because you're not going to be doing 16mm very often. You're not going to be doing 0.08mm very often. And for the smaller conductors, this is easy to use. So for the sake of an extra 100 quid, I would say it's probably not worth to buy the Knipex unless you're using these a lot. But the thing that I've not factored in there is obviously how long these things will last. Now, I'm an advocate that you get what you pay for. So quality wise and durability wise, I would say that probably it's a lot more likely that the Knipex will last you a long time than this. Maybe after a few months the handles will start to fall off and the mechanisms will start to get even stiffer and things like that. So I would say that if you want a good tool that's going to last you 20 years or something, get the Knipex and pay a bit more. If you very rarely use it and you just want something that, you know, 1 or 2 uses a month, well, the Preciva one is probably going to be the best investment for you. But let me know in the comments if you've got either of these. Which one do you prefer? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments section. Or maybe you've got a different type of ferrule crimper that you really recommend. Let me know in the comments. As always, guys, if you've enjoyed this video, thanks for watching. Smash the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for more great tools videos coming soon. Thanks for watching and have a great day.